This is my Osmo 360 camera. I love it, but I dropped it and I damaged the lens, and even the smallest scratch on one of these cameras is a huge problem. So I'm going to have a go at fixing it myself. So yeah, this is how I fixed my camera. Before we go down to the desk and start doing this, I am by no means an expert. Mistakes will be made, and I'll try and show everything that goes wrong. If it does go wrong in the video, it will be an honest outcome. So let's bring it down to the desk and fix this camera.
So let's have a look what I'm working with today. So I got this kit off AliExpress. I have here the replacement lens. This has everything I need in to replace this outer lens here. I have this B7000 glue, so if you do any kind of modeling at all, you'll know exactly what that is, but it's very similar to the glue that's holding this down now. A pair of tweezers, and these should be able to grip onto the outer ring, and I should be able to unscrew that, but I believe that's quite fiddly. And then I have this blower, and just in case I need it, I have some alcohol swabs here just to get rid of any residual glue should I need to. So hopefully that should be okay.
The lens is held in place by two rings. The outer ring is glued in place, which is what makes this such a tricky repair. And the second one is screwed in, but it's not really designed to be taken out by your average person. You need special tools to get it out.
The battery, I've taken the battery out of this because I don't want a lithium battery in there when I'm applying heat. Heat and lithium batteries don't go together very well. Right, okay, so I've got the hot air gun here and I've given this a clean. This is a hot air gun I've owned for a long time. Probably not ideal, but you know, it's the tool I've got. It's a little bit heavy-handed. Well, I do have the ability to put this onto a lower setting, so I'm going to sneak up on this. I'm just going to get it warm. So all I need to do is soften that glue. I don't need to burn this thing. If you haven't used a hot air gun before, these things get seriously hot. So I'm just going to be very careful with this. So let's just get this going. Okay, that's come off. So this prying tool that came with the kit was actually no good. I ended up applying a lot more heat to it than necessary. I just ended up using these to get it off. They got under much better. Okay, how we're looking for glue. Doesn't appear to be a huge amount of glue under that, to be fair. Okay, all right, that's good. Right, let's get the kit out. Oh, we do actually have wet wipes in here as well. I didn't realise I had those in there. I've got a lens cleaner. Oh, and I do actually have a soft pad to put it on. However, I suspect the heat gun would have damaged that. Oh, and I've got a replacement ring as well. And a replacement screw in. Right. All right, I'm going to try and unscrew this now. Okay. Okay, this is going to be difficult, I can tell already. But this has got a very good grip on it. Like, that's got a good grip. So, right, bear with me as we try and get this off. Oh, geez. Oh, that's gone. Oh, that's coming off nicely now. there's some holes there. That has left quite a bit of detritus. All right, let's try and clean that up. Yeah, so that's left a lot of mess taking that off. Okay, there we go.
One thing I didn't do a good job of explaining here is getting this lens out. It's kind of suctioned in place, and you'll see in a minute I try to use the pry tool to get it out, but I compress the outer rim. There's like a tiny, such a thin, very soft rim round there, and I compressed it slightly. It didn't cause me any problems, but I could have really messed things up had I continued to try this. The best thing was just to grab it with your fingers and twist it, and it kind of just popped out.
Okay, so now it's time to add the replacement lens. I'm going to be very careful when I do this. So actually, maybe I should replace this washer first.
The O-ring that I just mistakenly named a washer is actually what waterproofs the lens. You don't get a spare one of these in the kit. So I made sure I put that original one back exactly where I found
Give
it.
that a little whoosh. Because once I put this in, I don't want to have to take it out again. Okay, in you go. There we go. Get in there. Right, that's in. That is in.
The ring that holds the lens in place, the inner ring, is made from very soft machined aluminium. So I was concerned about de-threading this or cross-threading it because it'd be so easy to do. So I made sure I used my fingers first so I could tell exactly how much pressure and if there was any resistance going on there. And then I went to the tweezers. There are two holes at the side of this thread that you can get the tweezers into very easily. I was very careful to make sure I didn't slip and scratch the new lens. It didn't matter so much when I was taking the old one out, but it mattered a lot more with this new lens. When I removed the original inner circle, it left all that white powder behind. I suspect that was an abrasive paste added to this during the manufacturing process. If that is the case, that was probably there to stop this from working itself loose through vibrations and whatnot. So potentially that could cause issues further down the line, and maybe it's a drawback of doing this yourself.
Right, I'm going to go away and just do a couple of tests before I glue anything in. I'm just going to connect it to the PC so I can see it on the big screen. And then I'm going to come back to you. Okay, I'm back. I've done some pretty extensive testing with it and it looks pretty good. At first I thought there was a difference between the two lenses, but it turned out this wasn't quite tight enough, so I just went a little bit tighter with it. Again, I've been very careful because it would be super easy to cross-thread this. Just if you put your fingernail in here, there is just a tiny, like less than a millimeter gap between the lens, but this should be fairly flush with this. So I think we're pretty spot on now. Okay, we're looking good. We've not messed anything up too badly that we can tell. So let's just apply a wee bit of glue to this, and I think I'm going to use the new ring as well because I think one of these, the old one's damaged. Yeah, that's the old one. Got a chip on it, so we'll get it looking nice again as well. And I don't think anyone would know I'd done this if it wasn't for making the video. Okay, cool, that'll go on. Oh, nice, okay. Right, this glue comes with a little applicator on it as well, that's handy. Great, okay, let's just do this super duper carefully. We don't want a lot. Just a dabble do ya. Just a dabble do ya. Perfect. Okay, let's get that in there. That's handy, I love that. Comes with this little, look, I mean, I'm guessing I should have used that actually, that little stick thing, but Ooh, well, I was very careful with it. In it goes. Probably use the stick, don't just apply it straight from the bottle like what I did. There we go. There she goes. In she goes. We shall leave that to set. But look at that. I did make a couple of mistakes whilst doing this. So I tried to use this to get this ring off. It didn't work. It was too fat. This turned out to be better to do that with. Another thing is these things can easily slip off the ring and kind of skate across the lens. So when I was removing the old lens, I did that a few times. It doesn't really matter because this one's damaged. Had I done it when screwing in the new one, I would have scratched my new lens, so that would have been bad. But other than that, that was a lot easier than I was expecting. I know some people have had issues with this, but that wasn't as bad. It was nerve-wracking. Oh yeah, and not screwing this thing in tight enough. I was very worried about cross-threading it. This is very soft aluminium, so it would be easy to cross-thread this. So I didn't quite go as hard as I could have done, but it's better to sneak up on it rather than actually just brute force it straight away and damage it. But yeah, look, here we go. We're looking good. You can see this lens got a little bit of dust on it. I'll clean that afterwards. But yeah, look at that. Oh, we're rocking and rolling.
So to test this out, I wanted something fairly neutral and something I could control. I didn't want to take it outside because you can't tell the difference at all in that situation. So I opted for a few blank sheets of paper and some pencils, and I held it really close, which is like the worst case scenario of this camera. It's not made to be held close, but that way the seam line is meant to be visible, very visible. However, in some of these shots it's not visible at all. But also, if there was any kind of bluing or that discoloration I had experienced when I hadn't tightened the inner ring correctly, if there was any bluing, I would be able to see it very clearly against that white paper. And there's no difference at all. This was all done by hand, so in one of the shots I was slightly closer to the pencils when doing a side-by-side, so some points of the pencils are slightly out of focus compared to the other shot, but that varied from like experiment to experiment. There's no detectable difference at all that I can personally see between these two lenses. And of course, here is a shot of me just walking outside with the camera. Again, I've got lens protectors on it now, so that is with lens protectors on. But again, you can't see any difference at all between these two lenses. So I am really happy with how this turned out. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this was useful to you, and I will catch you on the next one. All right, bye-bye.